Well, as former President Donald Trump's 4 criminal cases move forward, we're hearing from experts regarding some new developments in some of those cases and what they mean for the legal proceedings. Steve King joins us live in Palm Beach County. And Steve, you spoke with a former Department of Justice Criminal Division senior trial attorney about this.
Jade, that's right. And Special Counsel Jack Smith has filed a motion asking a federal judge to issue a gag order to limit what former President Trump can say about the election interference case in Washington, D.C. Richard Serafini, that expert you just spoke about, Jade, he says that most likely that gag order, regardless of how it all shakes out, is not going to impact public opinion much one way or the other. Now, Jack Smith and his team want to keep Trump from, quote, attacking prosecutors, the judge, or potential witnesses who may testify in his federal criminal trial related to his alleged effort to overturn his 2020 election loss. The judge is giving Trump's lawyers until September 25th to respond, and then the special counsel will have until September 30th to reply. Here's why Serafini says this decision will likely not weigh heavily into a possible verdict.
Folks who are following the former president probably already believe, even without his postings, much of what he says. And there's a lot of people who are potential jurors and may become involved in the case who pay absolutely no attention to the former president's social media posts.
Now, Serafini also says the fact that the judge approved the Georgia election case being heard in at least 2 separate trials could potentially benefit former President Trump, as his defense team will have the chance to see evidence before their case is heard. Reporting live in Palm Beach County, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Steve, thank you. Former President Donald Trump addressed the indictments he is currently facing in a new interview. His response is that they are all political.
These are corrupt people that I'm dealing with. They're destroying our country. I don't even think about it. All I think about is making the country great, making America great. Look, these are political, these are Banana Republic indictments. These are third world indictments.